Welcome to Tuesday Notary Titans, everybody. Today is May 6th. That's what I was doing. I had to look over at the date because I couldn't remember. My name is Jen Neitzel. I am the creator of Marketing for Notaries, and I am here. My co-host is the one and only, the GOAT herself, you guys, Laura Bewer. Hi, Laura. How you doing today?
Good to be back.
You and that Bob are adorable. I love your new little Bob. It's
Oh,
it's
thank you.
very cute. You just got back from Florida visiting family.
I did. And it was Florida, of course, doesn't disappoint. It's hot. And it rained in the morning.
Always.
So yeah, not my favorite place to go, but I have family there. So
Yeah.
the
Well,
family
I'm
is.
glad you got some good family time in. That is important. So everyone, I am so happy that you guys are here. I want to extend a special welcome to anybody who might be new joining us. We are thrilled that you are part of Tuesday Notary Titans. This call has been around, you guys, for over 7 years, and we love this space that we get to share with you every single week. Check out that chat box for all the rules and things that you need to know about to manage this call. The biggest thing that you need to know is how to ask your questions. This call is kind of like an old radio call-in show where you can just ask Laura and myself any questions you'd like. And to do that, you just have to get in line using your virtual hand. Look at the bottom of your Zoom screen and you will find a little raised hand feature that allows you to raise your hand and get in that virtual line. And we, just like Laura did, that's right. Thanks, Laura. And we will ask questions from raised hands first. I want to reiterate today for everybody because we keep seeing these pop up. We are not allowing any meeting bots on the call anymore, you guys. It messes with Zoom. Zoom and meeting bots don't like each other that much. So we are no longer allowing any meeting bots on the call. I'm sorry, you're going to have to come and hang out with us. If you're able to turn that camera on, please do so we can see your gorgeous faces. If not, there is no explanation necessary. We are just happy that you are here. I'm going to start the way I always do with some announcements. Next weekend is the Michigan Notary Boot Camp. I cannot believe it. It's here. I'm so excited to be the keynote speaker. The link is in the chat if you want to get the last minute tickets that are available. I encourage you to do it. I can't wait to hang out with you guys in Michigan. Do me a favor, if you're going to be there, just so I know, drop me a 1 in the chat so I can see who.
So, well, Jen, I didn't want to stop you, but people can still register and attend virtually.
Yeah,
There's an option to attend from your home, and there's still plenty of space. So,
very cool. Thank you for saying that. Yes, you can attend virtually. That's an option to save some money and travel and all that. This is going to be a great experience, you guys. I've seen the lineup and wow. So check it out this weekend, but let me know if you're going to be there so we can hang out. Let's see. Next week, we have a very special guest that's going to be joining us. Her name is Audra Murray Sue. Am I saying that right, Laura?
Yeah.
Thank you. Audra Murray Sue is with the Notary Academy, and she is going to be teaching us all about Canva, an intro to Canva. So if you have ever felt intimidated by using Canva for your marketing efforts, you definitely want to make sure you are on next week's call. We had mistakenly had her on our social media post that she was coming this week, but it's actually next week. No worries, just gives us more time to talk about it because, guys, it's going to be a fire call. So I can't wait for that. And then lastly, our very own Jen Cooper, who you know is the one who truly runs this call. She is giving a free Chat GPT for Notaries workshop. Jen, tell us about it really quick.
yeah, this is the second one I'm doing. It's a free 90-minute workshop that's going to give you an intro into ChatGPT. It's very interactive. You're going to get a chance to really work with some of the prompts, learn how to prompt correctly, learn some of the safety aspects. And anybody who attends gets 100 free prompts. They get a free GPT that I created for your marketing with ChatGPT, and a chance to get the course I created, which is much more in depth, for 50% off. So I'm really excited about it. And this might be the last workshop I do this year. So I really hope people who didn't get to attend the first one will show up to this one.
Yeah, you will learn something. You will feel more comfortable after this workshop with ChatGPT, guaranteed. So it's free. Get registered for that. All right, guys, we've already got a hand up. So, oh, Laura, do you have something you want to talk about?
I had an announcement, so I wanted to make sure it got out. Bill and I did a training on Saturday, and it was on specialty work. And if anybody wants to see that replay, if you didn't have it, you missed it, the link, Jen, if you would, Jennifer and Cooper would type it in, is notarycoach.com/make money.
I love that. Make money. Just get right to the point.
Specialty work, then you can catch that video. Thank you.
Thank you. I forgot to ask you that before we started the call, Laura. Well, let's get to our first question from my friend in Jacksonville, Florida, the one and only Celicia Young Jones. Celicia, what can we do for you?
Greetings, sports fans. And that 21 horse got in my way. That's all I got to say. Otherwise, I'd be really rich. I had a little rainbow roundup with my people on Team Rainbow, and last night we came up with another thing.
Okay.
And it's to go out and grab some domain names using .ai. So Linda was able to get Orlando Mobile Notary.ai, and I went ahead and grabbed Remote Online Notary.ai, and wherever you are, Poughkeepsie Mobile Notary.ai, because all the .coms are taken, but the .ais are like brand new, wide open spaces.
That is an excellent idea. Thank you for sharing that. And
now I will tell you that you can get a normal www.com for like 10 or 12 bucks. These are $80 a year, so it's not cheap. But
I don't know if you have a specific $80 a year is not crazy. If you have a specific need to fill. So that's one of those investment questions, right?
I thought Remote Online Notary was a pretty good grab.
Thank you for sharing that with
just think about whatever you'd like to have close to you and go .ai, because that apparently is the next wham bam gotta go thing to have. So that was just my little
thank you, Celicia. I appreciate that. I think you probably got some brains working there this morning. All right, guys, feel free to go ahead and raise your virtual hands, get in line, ask your questions. Laura, Jen, and I are here to help you, but to spark some brains thinking here. I wrote down something, and Laura, this is something that you and I talk about frequently. We haven't in a while. So I want to ask you this specific question because it's come up a few times for me over the past 7 days, both personally and in my coaching calls. If you guys aren't aware, I do one-on-one coaching. Here's the question, Laura. What beliefs or habits helped you shift from survival mode to CEO mode?
Well, actually, it wasn't just one. I think that probably the one that got me going was to start out my day on the positive, looking for that, setting my reticular activating system to look for job opportunities, to look for whatever it is I wanted. I said, okay, today I'm going to see a new business opportunity. Today I'm going to have a fantastic signing that's already established. Today I'm going to do this. And so what I think that does, that belief system, is that your brain now gets focused in on that.
Yeah.
And so it's like, I want to buy a red car, and now all the cars you see are red.
Yeah.
Right? That idea. So that was probably a belief that helped me at least focus every day. The other one, actually, I just wrote about in my blog, which is everything's figure outable. And that is that it doesn't matter how big the issue is or how challenging something is, I will find a way to figure it out. And because I know I have that, I am a MacGyver, right? I am that kind of business person and notary. That doesn't matter how difficult the assignment is. It doesn't matter how hard the project is I'm working or how complex it is. I can figure it out. I have it within me to do it. And I think that allows me to stretch myself in many ways.
You model both of those concepts beautifully. In fact, you have been a huge inspiration for me to, I mean, you know how much I love learning about brain science. But when we started talking about what you tell yourself you believe, and I had that epiphany, and the example you gave was perfect. When you hear a new word, all of a sudden you see it everywhere, or you see, you know, you want to buy a red car, you see them everywhere. You can do that with other things in your brain too, right? Like, but the one thing that I tell myself every morning is today is going to be an amazing day. Today is going to be an amazing day. And I look then all day for wonderful, amazing things. The other habit, though, that really helped me was getting off my butt and getting out that door every morning and moving my body. Sometimes, sometimes that looks like taking the dogs for a long walk. Sometimes that looks like this morning where I am pump and iron at the gym, but getting outside and moving my body and getting a little sunlight every morning has been a game changer. And it's these little things that we can all do, like getting some sunlight in the morning, like moving our bodies, like retraining the gray matter up there based on science, right? That make all the difference. It's not the technology we invest in or the call. I mean, those things are all important, but it's really these little things that make the biggest difference and stuff we can all control.
It
Yeah.
is.
All right, guys, what about you? I want to hear from you. What beliefs or habits have helped you shift in your business from survival mode to CEO? What say you? Let me hear you. Should I pick somebody, Laura?
I know. Jen, do you have any insight on that?
Mindset that helped me shift probably was I got to be honest with you guys. Before I became a business owner, I was already running everybody's businesses and I was already telling them what to do. So that CEO shift in my head happened way earlier than I think a lot of people do because I was really ready for it. But how do I maintain it so I'm not in this constant state of fighting to be a business or a successful business? It's reminding myself that I have always been capable, that I was always created for this. So they're kind of like mantras or kind of like affirmations that I tell myself, especially on the days when I look at myself in the mirror and go, yeah, I don't get it. I don't get I don't get why you're the one that gets to do this job. I don't get why you're the one that has been asked to speak today at 3 other events. I don't know why you are the one that people are reaching out to when they have questions. It happens to me more often than you would think. And I have to tell myself, you were built for this, you were created for this, and you're really good at this.
Mhm.
So own it and go with it. And it's
Good
just
for
something
you.
that I have to do on a regular basis. Yeah.
Good for you. I love that. I love that. Celicia, tell me what you did to to get into the CEO mindset, because I have seen that firsthand happen with you over the years.
Well, part of it is I watched what you guys were doing. I'm serious. I mean, I watched you and Bill and Laura and you know, Jen and I watched, you know, what's different? What's different between me and them? And it really is, but if you don't know where you're going, any road will do. So you've got to put it, you've got to put some things out there. And I was talking to Ronnie Mickle the other day, and he said, if I don't calendar it, it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
So just last night, another one of our brainstorms, we told the A girl, that's ALEXA. Did you know that you can connect ALEXA with your calendar, with your Google Calendar, and you can say ALEXA, put my noon meeting with Jen on my Google Calendar?
Yep.
Because I am notoriously bad about somebody calling me, say, need you to come by and do something. Okay, yeah, right. And then all of a sudden I see a text message that says, where are you? And it's like, oh God. And then I'm running. It's like, Jesus. So, but it is a mindset. It is a mindset.
Well, let me help you with the problem you brought up that you don't know you have, which is your calendar. Have you looked into Notary Calendar?
No,
Go look at Notary Calendar.
I have not.
Go look at Notary Calendar so people
Oh.
can schedule you directly on your website.
Well, that's just it. I've got so much going on that I can't let other people run me because I got too much going on. I'm afraid to do that.
Well, but isn't that what's happening though? If you're forgetting to show up at meetings, aren't they running the show when you're like, oh crap, I forgot. So if you're able to look at your calendar every morning and know where you got to be,
well, she can tell me now. She's going to tell me now every
she's going
day.
to tell you where to go. Okay.
Well, and more than that, the notary calendar, Celicia, it's not running your life. You still have to say yes or no.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll look at
You
it.
don't go through the thing of, let me check my calendar, let me check this. They have to put all their information in. They have to see that you're available, but you have to maintain an online calendar, but it doesn't book for you. It just streamlines your booking.
Okay. All right. I'll take a look. I'll take another look.
Go check it out. Take a look. Yeah. All right, guys, I want to hear from you. What have you done to shift into CEO mindset for your business? Let me hear you. Brenda, tell me, how do Finese?
Finizzi, can you hear me?
Finizzi. What a great last name, Finizzi. That's fun to say. What about you?
Basically what everybody else did, but I started reading. I go out and I do walk, and I just kind of like prayed my way through everything because things were really going bad for me. I don't know what happened, but things just kind of went a little sour. But I prayed my way through them all. I did affirmations, and I just stayed positive and told myself everything's going to change. I said I will not give up. You will not quit. You've come too far, and this is what I like doing. I meet wonderful people. I met attorneys. I met authors. You name it. Anybody that people who have travel agents and stuff like that. But I just enjoy meeting different people every day. I'm not stuck in an office. I can set my own time. But I every morning I do my affirmation. I tell myself good things, positive things. I say I love you. You're gorgeous. You're beautiful. Whatever you can do to tell yourself. Just I always say I can do this. I'm going to do this. I will succeed. I'm not looking to be rich. I just want to be able to do something to help someone else. So
I love that.
yeah.
Brenda, I've said for years, I think the one thing that we all have in common as notaries public is that we all have a heart of service.
Yes, that is correct.
That's where our heart lies. That's what, binds us all together. That's why we have so much fun when we get together.
Yeah, I do. I do. Definitely. Yeah. So, but that's it, on what I do there. I just keep telling myself positive.
You are your biggest cheerleader, and I love that. That's the way it should be. So congratulations, and thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome.
Patrick, what did you do to get into CEO mode?
Well, I got to be honest. I haven't done it all yet, but last week or 2 weeks ago. Huh? Can you hear me?
I think it's a process. Yeah. It takes a while.
Yeah. Okay.
It happens. Yeah.
So I just got back from our Legal Shield International Conference, and they had a session on PAVE, P-A-V-E, and P was personal growth. And one of the biggest things is reading 5 pages of a meaningful book a day, listening to audiobooks, training yourself and learning more every day. A is action, taking action in what you do. V is having a vision of what your business is going to be. And E for us was events, to show up at events, something like this. just to show up to the convention, show up to our big events, just show up. And that was one of the talks that they had. So I'm definitely working on that. I'm not a very strong reader. So I'm going to look a little bit more into audiobooks. And he had even said, if you're not a strong reader, hey, instead of 10, make it 5, then make it 6, then make it 7 pages a day. So yeah.
I love that. I love that. And Patrick, if you are able, you guys know Patrick is a Legal Shield representative. I see that you are in your car, but I see some free hands right now. If anybody,
I just parked.
if anybody is interested in speaking with Patrick about Legal Shield, he is going to put his contact information in the chat, and you guys are free to reach out to him about that. Laura, you have Legal Shield, correct?
I do. And, I use it. I don't have to use it very often, but I'll tell you what I like the most. And that is just the ability to call and ask a question. Because to be able to call and actually get hooked up with an attorney in my state regarding specifically what I want to know about as part of my membership, that's what I love, because I'm constantly thinking of new ideas, new ways to do business. And it's like, wait, can I do that? Is that okay? And I have a place to go with that. So I love that the best. I've used it for demand letters and a few other things, but what I love the best is just that ability to reach out and get legal consultation.
Yeah. Yeah. And it provides that cushion of security, because as a business owner, you never know what could go wrong, right? So,
And if I can, Jen, on that, what Lori was saying, just so everybody kind of knows, and again, I'm going to put my information here, reach out, but there's no hourly expense when you call and talk to that lawyer. There's no limit on how many times you can call. And you take this and add a small business, what we have now, which is a little bit different than Laura was a small business supplement, but now it's a small business add-on. So now you've actually made your entire personal legal plan a business expense, but talk to your CPA, because I'm not a CPA nor a lawyer.
thank you for that, Patrick.
Yeah.
He's going to put his information there in the contact, and you guys are welcome to reach out to him anytime. He is one of our regular attendees on TNT, and Legal Shield is definitely something that Laura and I both believe in. I wanted to let you know, Laura, can you do us a favor before we go to Jeanette's question? Can you double check that link, the Make Money link with your replay? That is the registration link. It is not the replay link.
But yes, I'll check while we go to the next question.
Thank you so much. Okay, Jeanette in Michigan, what is your question for us?
Hi. Good afternoon, everybody. Mine's not so much a question as a I guess
Are you going to
PS.
CEO us?
Huh?
Give us some good CEO advice.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Okay. I think I was kind of born that way. If that makes sense. I
Yeah.
remember when I was my first office or leadership office, I was 13 years old. I was in the youth choir. I was 13 and I was the youngest one in the choir, and they made me like the vice president. And
That
I
does
thought that
not
was
surprise
weird.
me at all.
I thought that was weird,
Does
because
not
they
surprise me a bit.
16, 17, 18, and here I'm 13. And I said, okay, well, if they, vote me in, I'll just take it.
So what was your comment for us, Jeanette?
Just a PSA. Today, I had a customer, and just be careful when we're going to these houses, because it was one of those situations where I don't want to sit. You don't want to sit down. A good friend of mine, just called me last week, and she, has bed bugs in her couch. And like I said, I stood the whole time, and I'm not trying to, be, whatever with people, but just be careful where you sit, where you lay your purse and all that stuff, because you don't want to bring anything home to your family. That's all.
Yeah, that's a great reminder for all of us in any situation. Thank you, Jeanette, for bringing that up. I appreciate that. Well, Laura, everybody's being quiet today.
I know. Well, oh, there was something else. What's the other thing I wanted to, oh, Could we just check in with people to see if anybody's going to Nevada in June? We haven't talked about the NNA conference like at all.
Yeah. Who is going to the NNA conference? I see Mary's going. I know Amber Nicole's going.
Who else is
Is
going?
Melissa speaking? She's going to be there. This is exciting, you guys. It's and Jen Cooper's coming this year. She's actually helping me manage my exhibitor booth. So I'm so excited about that. Did you guys see that the schedule is out? If you go to the NNA website for the conference, which is nna.org/conference, the actual times and schedules are out for all the workshops. So you can start planning your day, and the app is out.
Mhm.
The app is out. Um, Okay, well, we are excited to meet you too, Mary. I can't wait to see everybody and get to hang out. It's just going to be so much fun. But Shirley in Bozeman, Montana has a question for us. Shirley, what is your question? You're on mute.
How's that? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Also, let me take my headphones off. That might help. Can you hear me better?
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right. Most of the time I've done my notary services over the past 30 years have been in lawyers' offices, and I'm just now starting to branch out. I'm just starting your sessions, your lessons
Hmm?
at the beginning stages. But I was asked to go to a notary the other day by somebody I knew. I met them somewhere, and all she needed was a car title notarized. I'm like, okay. I reviewed my notes, in case there was anything weird going on, whether it's a newer title or an older one. Anyway, I got there to notarize, and I said, well, this is your husband's signature, and he's already signed. And she's like, okay, well, we ended up rescheduling that with him to resign. And I did some research and found out I had to also, in Montana, I had to also provide an MV-100 form for this person to fill out. My question is there like a set standard of questions that I can ask people, when I first set the appointment? Or is it something I just kind of come up on my own after I have all these weird snafus?
Laura, did you hear Shirley's question?
Hold on a second. Let me come back so I can see the pictures because I was trying to get that link.
Oh, yeah.
But there are, I mean, for me, I have a standard set of questions that I ask every time. As a matter of fact, I have a shortcut on my phone that once
Oh,
we get going, that shortcut includes the qualifications for the signer. So I don't have to retype them every time. And those might be, okay, your signer needs to be present. Your signer needs to be alert and aware. Your signer needs to have the document prepared, ready for signature. Your signer needs to be able to sign his or her own name unassisted. If not, let me know. That way I can tell them what the process would be if your state has a proxy or
yeah.
signature
Okay.
mark. Then I have a different set of questions. If they tell me that it's the kind of document that I'm familiar with, like power of attorney, then I say, does your power of attorney have witnesses? So we can talk about that because that's different. Those are document witnesses, not my need of witnesses.
Right. Right.
If it's a document where I know, like the permission to get a passport, the government form, consent to travel or consent to get a passport, I know there's some very special details about that form, such as SB in black ink. There are certain things about that form that have to be done right. You've got to have a photocopy of the ID that you're planning to show me that goes with the form. So part of it is just standard, and part of it is as you get familiar with different forms, then you start knowing, oh, there's 2 or 3 questions I have to ask because it's this kind of form. Or when I say, and where am I going? Now I might have another set of questions because if it's a hospital, now I've got different things I've got to concern myself with as in terms of availability of that patient. I need to make sure that we're scheduling a time when they're not just taking a narcotic of some kind. I want to make sure that they don't have a procedure or an x-ray or something that's going to happen at that time. So when it's the type of place, if it's the jail, that can sometimes create some extra questions for me. So the location can cause questions, the document can cause questions, and then you just have your standard notarization qualification question.
Okay,
Does that help?
it sure does. I'm gonna get going on putting together some information, some questions.
Shirley, I wanted to let you know too, and I did put a link in the chat. There's an intake form created by Notary Allies,
Okay,
Ken Flanagan's company. And let me tell you, it is a lifesaver. It's a wonderful form, and it goes through all kinds of different scenarios that you can, talk to customers about when they call, and helps give you a little direction there, because
okay.
a lot of time it is experience, when you,
Mhm.
but one of the things I want to encourage you to do is when that happens, create a note in your phone or a little folder in your phone. So when you're leaving an appointment, you can make a little note to yourself that says, you know, don't forget XYZ, or do this next time, or whatever, so
Yeah.
that you can address those and you're not relying on this to remember what you
Okay,
need to ask. So, so as you're learning and getting your experience, put those
okay,
down, and then you can create any kind of form you want if it helps you qualify your customers a little better so that you are prepared.
okay. I'm a total list form person, so
Yeah, well,
do that.
listen, you will love, any of you guys will love the Notary Allies
Okay.
intake form. The link is in the chat. It's, Jen, you use it, don't you?
No, I don't, because I don't. I do a lot from my memory at this point, but I also wanted to tell you guys, I just released a blog post that shares, I have a ton of checklists, how-tos, things that are free on my website too, on all different kinds of appointments. So if you guys just need a little help getting started with that too, I'll put a link in the chat.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Thank you for the question, Shirley. That was a great one. Let's go to Asia. And Asia, you are going to have to remind me where you live.
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin. All right, girl. What's your question?
I just had a CEO tip. I'm probably gonna lose you guys in a minute because I'm going through a dry spot. But my CEO tip is, what I did was I created a model to look like to the public how I wanted to show up for people.
So Asia, can you say, you must be in your car.
did.
You kind of cut out a little bit. Can you repeat your CEO tip for us?
I created a business plan.
Yes.
Yeah.
And listen,
So
girl,
it went over all my expectations for my business and all that stuff.
I love that. And that is something that every single one of us that owns a business should have. It's an excellent, excellent point you make up, Asia. And if you guys don't have a business plan, but it's something that you want to put together to keep you on track and keep your goals in sight, there's a few places you can go. You can Google, of course, business plans, and you'll get all kinds of different free versions, but there's a organization called the SCORE Foundation, SCORE.org, and they have all different types of business plans that you can get for free. Their sole purpose is to help small business owners create business plans and marketing plans and all kinds of cool stuff. And Rachel, you are correct. SCORE is pretty awesome. You can get all kinds of free education and information there. All right, who else has a question for us? Everybody's going to be quiet on us today. Rob in Texas, what do you got?
Hey, just my CEO tip, I
Hear it. Let
guess,
me hear it.
would be just remember to always be networking. Network with, all kinds of people, including notaries. I see she's on the call here, but Diana Hanson, she and I connected through a TNT a couple weeks ago and met up at a Starbucks down by her. And yesterday
Nice.
she called me up. She needed a witness, and then we needed a second witness, and we both started kind of contacting different people we knew and notaries and whatnot, and we ended up getting it done with someone that was working there. But you know, it really does help, you know, keep on networking with people, including the notaries. They're not your competition, they're your I don't know, partners, I guess.
I did not pay him to say that. And
No, well, you know, we can talk later about that. You know, maybe that wine bottle I owe you. We can
yes,
come even. No, I'm just kidding. I still owe you that.
I did not pay him to say that other notaries are not your competition, but he's so right. And you know, it's just so important that we have other notaries in our network to help us when we need it. And I feel like those of you that have been following this call for any length of time, you guys feel the same way. Other notaries are not your competition. They are collaborators and friends and people that get what you're going through. So make sure that you are networking with other businesses, but also taking time to network with other notaries. That's why Laura and I spend time at the top of every call talking about upcoming notary centered events so that you guys are aware of, you know, options out there to meet other notaries and have that experience as well. So Patrick, did you have another question for us?
Not really a question, a comment. I'm really enjoying the conversation. I wanted to say, you know, kind of with the questions, Bozeman, Montana, that's awesome. I love the show. You know, don't forget about Chat GPT
Oh
and
yeah.
business plans, you know. So the AI world, you can easily go into Chat GPT and say, I am a notary in the state of Kansas. Please provide me, you know, a list of various questions to ask a potential signer, blah, 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 all kinds of stuff. And it's just going to spit out 10 or 20 if you want to limit it. Or business plans. Please provide me a business plan sample as a notary in this state, or this is what I specialize in. And ChatGPT is a pretty darn cool tool. Yeah, that was it.
Oh, it's been you're absolutely correct. It's been a game changer. And if watch this, this is professional sales in action. And if you guys are intimidated by Chat GPT at all and would like a free workshop about it, Jen Cooper has one coming up on what, May 15th? Look at me go, selling your course, Jen. But it really is it's an amazing class. And I believe, I can't remember all your prompts that you give away, Jen, because you give away 100, but isn't one of them about creating a business plan? Yeah, that's what I thought.
There's so much gold in those free prompts.
Oh
So
man,
much.
you have like
I've had people
marketing.
comment on Google that the prompts alone are worth the price of my course. So
Oh, yeah.
yeah, I'm
I would
proud of
agree
them,
with
and
that.
I'm really glad that it's been helping people. Yeah.
I would absolutely agree with that. Those prompts are genius. Love them. Miss Diana in Texas, how are you today?
I'm doing the happy dance.
Hey, why? What's happy? What's going on?
Well, I guess a lot of you might know, if you don't, Martin, I can't even say his last name, but I know him as Martin P.I. He's a very good friend of mine. And a couple of years ago, he led the charge for some notary laws to get our fees raised in Texas.
And it worked.
We kind of collaborated and talked, and he wrote up another proposal, and he submitted it to his representative, Valerie, and they divided the proposal into 3 separate considerations amendments, and 2 of them have passed. I'm so excited. They've moved on over to the Senate, but
They are in the Senate now?
yeah, one of them's up to a House vote. But
Good.
the first one, we're trying to get a clarification on credible witnesses, so it's moved on over to the Senate. And then the second one is oh no, I'm going blank.
Cash out refis and HELOCs.
Oh, that's the biggie. It got voted, well, it got presented to the House committee, and I've been waiting for Martin all day to tell me how it went yesterday, but it was a very short notice, so I didn't go. But I know that it was presented to the committee at 8 a.m. on Monday. And so he's promised me he'd post something on it, but if it if it passed the committee, then he told me that within a week, like sometime next week, so everybody get on the phone or email, your House representatives to please push it, because that would take some restrictions off of where we can sign the HELOCs. But I was looking on the NNA site, and when you go to the main website, way over on the right hand corner, it says like knowledge and
Knowledge Center.
updates. Yeah. So if you scroll down, there's a thing that says notary laws and things. You can actually trace what's going on. You can say what's the status of notary. And so it's up there. It just hasn't been updated. But I did notice that part of it is there saying that it passed, but it's pending this next section. And the part that's passed has to do with remote signing at home, but it doesn't go in effect unless this part passes. So that it's pending. It's pending this bill. But
Well, hopefully by next Tuesday, we will have a clear answer. And for those of you that don't know, there's some new laws that might be changing here in the state of Texas, one of which is the location of where we are allowed to sign what's called a Texas cash out loan, and obviously a HELOC. And so we might have some doors opening for us with that. So that's really exciting.
Forgot what the third one was, but it passed, and it's over in the house too. And I'm going blank. I was so excited that we're making it's training. That's what it is.
You're making your voice heard.
We're trying to make training mandatory. And I kind of surprised him because he asked me what my viewpoint was, and I strongly recommend that if your state offers it, even if it's free or there's a small fee to it, please take your training. Like Texas, it's zero fee. It's a 90-minute course. But a lot of my calls, if they had just taken it, so I told them, I said maybe they shouldn't let them print the commission till they take the test. And it's not even it's an open book little thing that has questions at the end of each module, and you can self-pace it. They're like 10 to 20 minutes each. And they give you the answer. I mean, it's like you don't go away not knowing the answer. So anyway.
That's exciting. Thank you for sharing that, Diana. It is exciting that Texas might actually have some notary training. What a concept. Rob, what you got for us?
Yeah, excuse me. Sorry. I actually want to give you a shout out for marketing for notaries.
Well, thank you. Hey, Jen Cooper. Oh, she's not on here. She has her marketing for notaries shirt on today too. Let's show them off, Jen. We're getting a shout out. Woo! Okay, go for it.
Yeah, I just want to give you a quick shout out. I'm going through it. I joined, and I was in a rush to get through the elevator speech USP unique selling proposition or proposal. I forget what the P stands for now, but anyhow, I went through that hour-long video or whatever, kind of came up with something real quick, and I shared with you obviously, but sorry, my computer's telling me something weird. Okay. And I'm actually like getting woohoos at little networking groups after saying it. It's a good 30 seconds at most, and we kind of move right through, and people, it stands out, and so that alone was worth the course.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm not getting paid for this either. I just want
he's not getting paid for this either. You guys may not be aware because I haven't really promoted it that much. I've been in the thick of getting my book out. But if you go to marketingfornotaries.com/learning, you can find different courses that you can buy individually if membership to a community is not your thing. I wanted to give people the opportunity. I'm trying to put it in the chat here and talk at the same time. I wanted to give people the opportunity to access these amazing courses without having to buy into a membership if that is not what you are interested in doing. Laura, tell people how they can connect with you. Did you ever get that link, by the way?
I posted it a couple times.
Yay, good. So we've got the link, you guys, for Laura's class. And then will you tell people how they can connect with you, Laura, outside of the TNT call?
Absolutely, guys. I have a weekly coaching call every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. Pacific time called Laura's Inner Circle. Just go to my website to register and you'll get the email with the link. The other way you can connect with me outside of these group coaching calls would be to meet with me one-on-one. I do a free consult, and you would just go to my Calendly account, calendly.com/my last name Beaver, and you can book an appointment, and it's just you and me. So come prepared, because you only get 15 minutes. So come prepared to talk about what you want to talk about, right? I'd get right to the point. It's called laser coaching.
Laser coaching. That's right. Rob, did you have something else? Did I cut you off? Sorry.
No, you didn't cut me off at all. I did have something else, and I'm sorry I forgot
Go for
about
it.
it. Just real quick, if anyone is like me, where undiagnosed ADHD probably, uh, I can't work at home. Like I just can't. And so I have spent a ton of money at local coffee shops, which is awesome. But it dawned on me, or I was reminded somewhere, somehow the other day, that Panera Bread has an unlimited sip club.
Yes.
Most Panera Breads have
Yes.
Wi-Fi. It gives me just enough distraction of like customers in there and whatnot. There's multiple locations. I don't know if I can write it off or not. I'm not a CPA or anything. But I decided to buy the 1 year subscription, which
How
was a
much was
little
that?
cheaper. It was 120.
Okay.
So $10 a month. I've definitely already paid for my month's worth of coffee now. They do monthly subscriptions, like 15 a month, I think, month to month. And it's
Yeah.
been great so far. I was actually just at the Panera over there in Capel this morning.
Oh, you
Doing
should have. You should. Well, I wouldn't have been able to meet you, but say you should
yeah.
have called me, but I wouldn't have been able to meet you.
Oh,
Yeah, it's that's a great idea. I love that. Thank you for
yeah.
sharing that. That's if you need to get
And
out of your house, because sometimes you do.
yeah, and it's just real quick. You get whatever drink, like if you order a coffee, you have 2 hours of getting refills on that coffee. Then after the 2 hours, you can switch it up to tea or whatever else you want. It's really a great deal. For all of you that might just want to have a place to go and have a
Yeah.
soda, coffee, whatever, and just get some work done, without distractions of your
That
house.
awesome broccoli cheese soup. Thank
Yeah.
you for for sharing. That is a great idea. Thanks, Rob. Paula in Arizona, what's your question for us today?
Yeah, I went to that Make Money that you
Yeah.
posted, but it says suspicious link.
Oh,
Out of
let's
it, try it again, because there should be nothing wrong with the link.
Okay, thank you.
let's see. Oh.
Because I copied and pasted it right out of the. I didn't type it in.
Okay. Thank you, Paula. And then Nicola in Florida.
Yep, worked
Good
just fine.
afternoon, everyone. It's Nicola, like Ebola. Or
Nicola, I'm
Coca-Cola.
sorry. I'm
Or
used to,
Coca-Cola.
yeah, I'm used to, there's Nicola Jackson at the NNA, and I was thinking about her. But what is your question
Okay.
for us?
It's not a question so much as a comment. I don't know if everybody, majority of us use SnapDocs. They have an email right now about feedback, and I would just recommend that everybody go on there and recommend that we would be able to see all of the feedback that the signing services are giving us. So that way we see what signing services are saying about us and use that to yeah.
So you can see all your feedback.
Yeah, so you know what your rating score is with signing services, and if
That's
they
so
have
cool.
any, if something is on there that's not correct, that you can work with the signing companies and see where you can, work on having a better relationship with them, or if there was a miscommunication. Because sometimes you feel like you're navigating in the dark sometimes, and you
Yeah.
don't know what they are saying about you, or if you've gotten good reviews or from whom. So
Yeah,
I
no, that's
just think
great.
it's good to have like a little bit more of transparency between us and the signing companies.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's great. Thank you so much for sharing that. I
Thank
appreciate
you. Have a good week, everyone.
You too. You too.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate that. All right, guys, who else has some questions? We've got just a few minutes left before we wrap up today. And Celicia, if you can hear me, and Amber, Nicole, I know you were both talking about my notary calendar earlier. And if you guys want to put your contact information in the chat or just Tony is now on the call. If you guys want to send him your information so he can reach out to you, because I know you both had some questions about my notary calendar. Let's see. Anybody else have questions?
Got it wrapped up.
I guess so. Everybody's quiet this week.
Jen, did you have a chance to post? Did you post your link? Yes.
I did. Yeah, you guys can go check out all of the individual courses that we offer at Marketing for Notaries. The elevator pitch training that Rob was talking about, you guys, is $38. It's not expensive. So it's an hour class, and you heard what he said. He's getting woohoos and oohs and ahs over his pitch. And there's 10 total different videos that you can purchase. They range in price from $28 to $58, depending on the length of the training. Some are 1 video long, some are 3 or 4. So you guys can go check that out at the link in the chat. Any other questions then before we wrap up today? Miss Carla, how are you? What can we do for you?
I do. I had another incident. The title company sent me an assignment. So indeed, I contacted the signer, mentioned where we're going to meet, what time. The last thing I said is I would need like 2 pieces of identification, a driver's license, and a social security card. And if you don't have this, I list down the things that I need. And the signer goes, oh, all I need is a driver's license. I know Jamie, the escrow officer. I said, well, that's good, sir, but I still need for my journal entry that I'm notarizing these forms, that I'm identifying you truly as you are you. Oh, I know Jamie, the escrow. Okay, I didn't debate with him, but I called the title company. As I called the title company, the answer was, he wants to find another notary. So I did my part. I did my due diligence. And like what a good notary and what we're commissioned for is to make sure indeed that that person and that signer is absolutely that person, even though they say they know the John Doe and whoever it is. For me, I'm protecting my own commission.
Absolutely. Laura, do you want to address this?
Well, a couple things, because sometimes people don't understand why we need what we need. And usually in California, and that's where you are, you only need one form of ID for the identification part, which would be like the driver's license. The second form of ID generally is because there's a document requesting it, like the Patriot Act. So even though, I guess if somebody said to me, yeah, but I know the escrow officer, I would say this isn't for them. I understand you have a relationship with them, but this extra piece is for this one form that is going to be used by the lender. So that might take them down a different path. The other thing is rather than saying the same thing when they're saying, and they're saying the same thing back to you, you're kind of stuck there. There's an impasse when that's happening. And so you need to break the impasse and go around it, come back around it in a different way. You need to have more than one way to say what you need. Because if you only have one way to say it and they only have one way to answer it, you're not going to get anywhere with them. They're going to get irritated. And yeah, that could happen. They could end up saying, well, I want a different notary then. And that notary may or may not. Oh, I know the other thing I was going to say is, did you already see the documents? So did you know you needed the second one or not? Okay. So
no, I have not printed the documents. So okay. I really don't know. It's a seller's package. So I called the escrow officer that he knew, and by that time I called her, she already said that she apparently going to find
But it was the
another
way the
notary.
conversation, Carla, happened. That's why that happened. And so the other thing I would check is, well, wait a minute, let me just see if that form's even in the package. Because in a seller's package, I don't know if there's a Patriot Act form. And some of them only require one. They don't require two. So if I don't have all my facts right, then I'm fighting with somebody about something I don't even know is true. I may need a second one if there's a Patriot Act, and that Patriot Act is the version that requires two instead of one, right? But you didn't know any of those things, right? So if I got pushback, the first thing I do is, okay, you know what? Great. There's this one form I'm anticipating. Maybe it's not even there. Maybe I can get by with one. Let me just check that out. And if I don't need the second one, we don't need to worry about it. So I would try to find another way to help them, one, understand it's not for the escrow officer, and number two, I want to make sure before I push that this is the way it has to be, that I verified that I know that's the way it has to be, because it might not have been.
Well said. Thank you, Laura.
And that is why they call her the GOAT. That was a great thing to bring up though, Carla. Thank you for that. Because just because you communicate well with one person doesn't mean you're going to communicate well with another. And sometimes those impasses happen. So you're right, Laura, being armed with other ways of saying the same thing it's called good customer service, right? It's, I know something that we all need to strive for is working on that with all of our customers.
It's stronger communication skills,
Mm-hmm.
and that recognizing when you're in an impasse and you realize, I can say this till I'm blue in the face. He's going to say it till he's blue in the face. I got to find another way to address this.
And if you've ever had teenagers, you know what that feels like. So yeah, right?
I'll have customers, and it doesn't matter if I'm right and they're wrong. Do I want to be right, or do I want to have the job? That's the question I need to ask myself.
I think that's a really important distinction there. That's a very important distinction. Guys, immediately after this call, if you hang out, once you log off, you'll see a survey pop up. I would love it so much if you would do me the solid favor of filling out that survey. This is how we know the content that we are bringing you mixed in with all these questions is something you like. We want this call to be something that you come back to every single week. So please make sure you fill out that survey for us. And don't forget, next week, we are getting a Canva tutorial. So this is a big deal. Laura, you've seen this presentation and just fell in love with it.
It was at a conference and I was like amazed because I don't do Canva. And she started showing me how easy it was to do some simple things to make all the difference in the world, especially on the fly. So I think you're going to love it.
And the point with all of that is Canva's going to help you with a lot of your marketing materials and different things you can use to promote your business. Yes, Jill, Audra is great. We're sorry that we had a little flub with our social media about announcing when she was coming, but it is next week. So you guys make sure you're here. We are doing our best to bring you these micro lessons once a month. All right, guys, thank you for being here today. Always a pleasure spending this time with you. Laura, I'm going to put you on the spot, but by now you can't say this as a surprise.
Yeah,
I do this to you every week because I can't think of like some, wisdomous thing to say before we hang up. So you're the GOAT. Share with us your wisdom.
I should be figured out that that's going to be standard. Frankly, because coming back from Florida last night, having a sick puppy throwing up and diarrhea all over my house, I've been a little distracted today.
A bit.
What comes to mind is just be useful. Look for when we say, can I be of service? Look for the opportunity to be useful.
Love that. Have a great week, everybody. We will see you back here next week. Bye.
Bye.